Russians of Reddit, what do you think of Wagner's rebellion? Yesterday, I fall asleep at 12 p.m. GMT +3, thinking that tomorrow will have a great time. My friend will be graduating tomorrow, and we will have a lot of fun. Today at 9, I woke up and opened the news in order. The commander of the most repulsed mercenary army, whose ads have been hanging on many banners in Russian cities, announces a bloody march on the city where I live. Russian commanders gently call for them to lay down their arms, because we are brothers of the same blood. Videos arrive of ordinary civilians calling on Wagner soldiers to retreat. Anti-terrorist operation mode is announced in my city, around the time I fell asleep. Putin's urgent address comes out, around the same time I woke up. My family is urgently preparing documents and passports. Day and night, me and my friends hear helicopters honking. The whole city is canceling graduation parties. Parks, museums, and cafes are closed, as if there was a quarantine. There are bomb threats everywhere. The Wagner military units capture military facilities in 2 regions in one night. Just look at the map. It's like almost an entire state. The distance from Rostov to Voronezh is 500 km. From Voronezh to Moscow is 500 km. Update: Wagner has reached the Lipetsk region. That means they have to drive 400 km to Moscow. Bridges are blocked. Roads linking the regions are blocked too. From Rostov, the roads are closed. The ring roads around Moscow are fenced with military equipment. Rivers are blocked. Along with buses, tanks, and military vehicles drive along one road. People in masks put sandbags. The whole online city map is red with the top symbols on each road leading from the south of the city to the center. The internet is up and down. The same goes for some of social networks. 17 hours have passed since the riot started. 25,000 heads of mercenary army against the forces of an entire country. Wagner suffers minimal losses. The Russian armed forces have 180 men in captivity, 3 lost helicopters and 2 armored vehicles. It's just unbelievable that there are no civilian casualties except for a couple of casualties. I didn't think the war would reach Moscow. And I didn't believe people who said that Prigozhin would stage an uprising. What do I think about the uprising? Nah, I can't think right now. I am sitting on pins and needles, waiting for the danger signal to come so I can rush out of the country at full speed. You shouldn't wait. If your family can go, you should go now. Or at least get out of the way, head east in Russia, and take cash for a hotel in a rural region somewhere far away from any military sites. If nothing happens and it's all okay, then you've spent some money for a little trip to the countryside. If the worst happens, you've potentially saved your life. My mother-in-law waited a day too late and found herself cut off in a city under siege for months back in the 90s. It doesn't feel real when it's starting, but you have to force yourself to know it's real. If you can flee. They will likely declare martial law soon. Make sure wherever you are when that happens is somewhere safe. Thank you for your honest input. This answer touched me in a way. I wish your family and friends well. Not directing this at you, but a lot of Russians are about to experience what Ukraine has been going through for the past year and a half, and I doubt many will even make that connection in their minds. A lot will be saying, why is this happening to us? What did we do? No, they aren't. This is nothing like what Ukraine has been put through, plus the perpetrator is not an outsider. Russian here. Honestly, I don't know. But I am not siding with Wagner here. What I do know is that Wagner must lose. Prigozhin is far worse than Putin. And honestly, I don't see him winning either. Over the years, Putin has amassed so many different forces to squash any rebellion that revolution is impossible. Then again, he was never challenged by the armed force. Overall, civilians will suffer if this doesn't end quickly. My hope is that Belarus rebels and Ukraine gains back its territory. Now seems like a perfect opportunity. I also think that marks the end of Putin too. Not in a sense that he will be toppled, but in a sense that he has now lost everything. He lost any sort of meaningful international relationships. He crushed the economy, worsened already bad demographical crisis, lost the war in Ukraine, and now gave power and guns to people he has no direct control over, and they rebelled. It's over. It was stupid to annex Crimea. It was stupid to invade Ukraine. It was stupid to arm a mercenary group. It seems unlikely, but I hope that somehow Putin and Prigozhin kill each other, and somehow Russia ends up with competent and benevolent leadership for the good of Ukraine and for the good of Russia. That would be ideal. Unfortunately, years of propaganda made it virtually impossible. My hope is that in a couple of years, new leader emerges that will take a course for peace. And he won't be as authoritarian, allowing truly competent leader to replace him down the line. I think that is a sound post. Thank you for posting it. This is a scary time, and bad things can come out of this. The people who think if Putin loses, Russia will become a democracy are delusional. I really hope the Russian people do not wind up even worse off than many of them already are. That was a lot of popcorn eating. Interesting that you think Crimea was a mistake. To a casual outsider, it seems that the annexation was a great success. Deep sea ports, expansion, and total control with no major military losses and some light sanctions placed on some Russian officials and businesses. Nobody cared about it until Russia tried to go for Kiev. If Russian proxy forces had stayed in the east of Ukraine, I don't think there would be as much outcry/attention. The eradication of Kiev was a massive gamble which came close, but has turned into a monumental catastrophe. You don't remember Crimea in the news? That shit was a huge deal when it happened. I get it. For Russia, it was a success, but everyone else was pissed. I live in Moscow. Bought some popcorn and just stare. Everything happening in my country for the last 2 decades is just something that most of us and me as well. I was born when Putin was already a president, can't control. Hope to close my eyes and open them again when there will be no shit. Think can't say more because we are being watched now. Be safe and enjoy your popcorn. Personally, I'm scared to write here. I think we're being watched. Edited. Okay, I'll say something. The revolution never ended well, so I feel terrible now. However, I'm fed up with the power we have now, which can't either admit a mistake or do something else normal, so I don't mind if there's a change. I hope you understand everything what I wrote. I've never voted for Putin or supported his decisions. Since he invaded Ukraine, I don't care what happens to Russia anymore. All I want is for it to stop being able to start wars. After that, we can begin building something better. The Russian reputation has been badly damaged. The US is going to have to find a new boogeyman, and of course it will be China. Nobody fears Russia anymore. Don't worry, if we're being watched, at least they'll see how witty and charming we are. If you describe the situation in one sentence, one bastard rebelled against another, I imagine how surprised the West will be if Prigozhin comes to power. I just don't want myself and those close to me to die. Simple as. This is a fight between 2 executioners for the right tool to execute the innocent. Putin's tool is a kleptocracy. Prigozhin's tool is wartime communism. I left Russia when this war started, and I think there is no good outcome for Russia. But any anti-Putin movement benefits Ukraine and the civilized world, so I'm rooting for mutiny. Lol, Prigozhin is quite literally a fascist. None of his policies have anything to do with communism. And don't pull horseshoe theory B's, because even if that were true, What you are saying is still objectively false. People will call anything Russian they think is bad communism. The end of the Soviet Union, the end of Russian socialism, is why this insanity is happening. This is the start of an extremely dangerous phase in Putin's war on the West. Do not mock. Oh, we are gonna mock. Finally, some chance for a big change. Hope it's better one. One mad tyrant is rebelling against another for the right to usurp the people. Just when things started looking good for me and my family, this whole random chimp event starts. I don't feel I have the right to complain because Ukraine is having it way worse, but still would be nice to go to sleep, not thinking you might not wake up. I'm sure plenty of Ukrainians share the same thought. Worst case scenario is Prigozhin taking the power and bringing total mobilization with him. Describing best case scenario might get me buried alive in the nearest forest. In any case, fuck all of these people. And to anyone reading this right now, cherish the peace you have and guard it with all you have. To my Russians reading this, Derzheitz Druzia, как говорится, даже за самой темной ночью всегда наступает рассвет. Stop masturbating. Join in PMC Wagner. Not today, KGB. Not today. It was unexpected, sure, but it makes sense that he did it. And the big question right now is who sides with who? Prigozhin alone cannot do much. I mean, he can kick police who are defending Moscow M, but he doesn't have nearly enough forces to fight a civil war. However, it would be foolish to assume that all Russian elites unanimously support Putin. As for the perspective of Prigozhin taking Putin's place, he is not any better. His men are criminals and mercenaries. Can't imagine any good coming from them. The only good thing he will bring is adequate approach to this war. Unlike Putin, Prigozhin gets information firsthand and knows how it's like on the front lines. But it can mean end of the war as well as more desperate effort to fight it. Wagner's current message is we're out to have revenge against people who betrayed us and to put an end to lies and corruption of Russian government. You are not our enemy. Your high command is. Don't stand in our way, and we will not harm you. And you know what? Emma not stand in their way. Fuck that. I just hope that both sides have fun. Oh shit. Free entertainment this weekend. Sitting in Moscow, playing board games, waiting for tanks. Fuck 10. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, subscribe and watch our next videos. Bye.